All right, folks, I am very excited to get started today. I am mostly excited today because I've been complaining about it in the last few weeks. My producer is back today. He is out there on. I hope he's out there. Chris, say hello when you get a chance to be back on here. And so, a lot of the issues that have been popping up lately, where I forget to change screens, should be a thing of the past because I have a producer here today. Thank you all for bringing. Hey, if you don't mind. I've got a good many of you on here, and I have not asked this question yet. Drop me a comment in the comments. Where are you from? Where are you watching this from? All right, so today is an interesting day. I have been focusing on Frank a lot lately, and I have something for all of you here. Mr. Producer, remind me to put the URL up at the end where people can download a free PDF copy of the Frank strategy. So I've been focusing on Frank a lot lately, and I wanted to talk to you about the sort of son of Frankenstein. We got Mark's from Tampa. Someone else is in San Antonio. This is what SA stands for, or possibly South Africa, or he could be in Satarsha, which is about 20 miles down the road from Yazoo City. No one's from Satarsha. And I have used this strategy in the past. My producer will chime in from time to time to tell me to stay on topic. And Johnny, if you're here, just say the word squirrel and I'll stay on topic. But before we do any of that, I do want to talk about how to get the free copy of Frank. I want to show you a chink in the armor of my forest trading algorithm, something that's a human oversight on my part that causes it not to work correctly. And then I do have a couple of some updates for you on the Bob strategy. But before we get started, let us look at the verse of the day. So I'm going to, Mr. Producer, can I change my screen to, can I share screen here? And if so, I will do that without causing problems. Okay, fantastic. All right. One of the reasons that I have, hello from Pasadena. One of the reasons that I have been talking about the different strategies that I trade is because you never know when one strategy or another one will work or not work. And we've talked about before that the end goal for all of us as traders is to not necessarily be the best trader of a system in the world, the best button clicker, but to be the best trading business owner and have several different strategies that all complement one another. It's not easy to find two strategies that fit together that don't cancel each other out. This is a biblical concept here. This is the King James. This might not necessarily jump out at you. Ecclesiastes 11, 1 and 2. Cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days. Give a portion to 7 and also to 8, for thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth. That is the King James. Let's go in the New Living. New Living is a little easier to understand. Divide your investments among many places, for you do not know what risks might lie ahead. And that is one of the primary reasons why I like to trade different strategies that are all complementary, but different enough. And yeah, it's a bit of a moving target to define what is different enough. You don't want to just duplicate. But you don't necessarily want two strategies that are completely at odds with one another. So this one's going up and that one's going down. You want a portfolio. And at the end of ideally, guys, at the end of the month, look at your portfolio and say, how did I do over the past month portfolio-wide? Don't live and die with every single trade. Isaac, if you're out there, I'm going to join you tomorrow morning and watch you day trade the NQ futures. And I know that a lot of day traders get emotionally invested and do kind of live and die with every single trade. Look, swing traders do it as well. But if you're out there scalping, it's an emotional roller coaster, or it can be an emotional roller coaster. So take a step back and take a look at your overall portfolio. Enough of that. I'm going to give you at the end of today. I'll give you the link, or the producer will give you the link for how to download the PDF, hot off the presses, if a PDF can in fact be hot off the presses, of the Frank strategy. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch Friday's live stream. And I go into great detail about Frank. I'm going to touch on it a little bit today. But today is all about Frank Jr. Mr. Producer, do I have the picture of Frank Jr. somewhere around here? You can find it, pop it up if you get a second. Which is a system that is built similarly, but is going to try to pick up some trades that Frank leaves out. So to refresh your memory, and for those of you who aren't interested, who aren't familiar, Frank is the most dead simple strategy that I've ever run across. Not only dead simple, but surprisingly successful. Now, right now, I'm in several trades that are not going well. And honestly, 4 of them are my own fault. One of the downsides to rushing through my strategies so that I can get it done in half an hour in front of all of you is that from time to time, I go too fast. So last Monday, I believe it was. Let's take a look. This is Wednesday. Okay. I mentioned, because I kept saying, hey, what does the R in RBNZ stand for, right? Reserve Bank of New Zealand, Royal Bank of New Zealand. I kept saying, hey, guys, watch out. They've got an interest rate announcement. Completely forgetting that my own rule says if I have not yet hit my first take profit and there is an interest rate announcement coming out with some country, get out. So had I exited, why is the thing not showing up? Had I exited this trade, these Kiwi trades the day before, right? This one would have been out right here, right at break even. Kiwi US, I would have gotten out right here, up a little bit. So right now I am negative on several trades here that I should have gotten out last week. And so I'm down $85 on these. Let's see. They're all Kiwi Swiss, Kiwi CAD, Kiwi US, and Euro Kiwi. Yeah, so all of the Kiwi trades that I was in last week, I should have gotten out. That's the way I trade. If you sign up for the PDF from Frank, I have not only the basis, the sort of basic strategy, the template that everyone should start with, but some ideas for how to adapt it. Various ways, rules that I've added or subtracted over the years. The fellow who invented this from who knows how long ago doesn't have to say anything about news events. I like to avoid news events. It just so happened that I forgot about this particular news event. And I'm going to get back to the screens. Mr. Producer, put me back on the sharing screen if you can here. So I don't even know if you saw what I was negative here. Here, I've got a button here. All right. We will work out the kinks between me and the producer. So the basic Frank strategy is you get your signal. And I've mentioned it before, and it's in the PDF. It's just 2 moving averages, 1, 2. This one is just represented by X's, green and red X's. It's all it is. Right? It's a simple moving average. It is just it's not a simple moving average. It's a whole moving average, but that's all it is. And then engulfing bar. So all of the hoopla, you've seen what Frank can do. I love Frank. It's so simple. Like here, you get your signal to go short, your entry's here, your stop is here, and you got a 3-to-1 trade. So what's Frank Jr.? By the way, was anybody aware of the fact that Frankenstein was the name of the monster? Not the actual, the name of the doctor who made the monster, not the monster himself. The monster doesn't have a name, sadly. So let me pop up Frank Jr., son of Frank. You think, those look like Bollinger Bands. Well, that's because they are. So the Frank strategy says that when you have the 2 moving averages pointed in the same direction, and you have an engulfing candle that opens on one side or the other, depending on the direction of the trade, there's your signal. Okay? Frank Jr. says when you have a long period moving average and you have a Bollinger Band and price closes outside of the Bollinger Band and then closes back inside as an engulfing candle, you have a signal. And you can choose, by the way, with this one, Frank Jr., hang on one second. You can choose to have only triggers with the long one. You can do a strict engulfing, that kind of thing. I like a 30, by the way, on my Bollinger Band. Bollinger Bands are a dime a dozen on TradingView. Let's just go through a few of these here, and I'll just demonstrate. So here is a short signal right here. So price closed outside of it and closed back inside of it as an engulfing handle. You think, well, hang on, that would have been a loss. No, in fact, it would not have been. That would have been a no trigger signal. That's one of the things I like about this particular system, is that if you do the strict rule, which says one candle and you're done, if it's not triggered in one candle, and you can set your pending orders to expire after a certain point, then you can avoid a lot of these, but just by having the fact that it's not been triggered yet. It's momentum. That's the entire point of this strategy is, hey, we want to get in when momentum is behind us. So if we can get a stop order, in other words, right here, we're heading down. If price continues down, momentum to the downside, we trigger. If it doesn't, we don't get in. And it's no harm, no foul. I love that. So like right here, this is Aussie in. Right here, we had a close outside of the Bollinger Band and then an engulfing candle closing back inside of it. So you would have been triggered here and you've been out here. That would have been a one-to-one trade. And that's all you look for here at the beginning, just a one-to-one trade. Look at Aussie US. I'm just going to cycle through. One of the reasons that I consider Frank Jr. a complementary strategy is that you're not going to have as many trade signals as with Frank. Let me see if I can put, I know I can do it, so I don't know why I'm saying let me see. Where is Frank? Frank 3.5 is that what I'm working on these days? So you can see here, give me 1 second. Now I have mixed my colors. Entry long and entry short. We're going to make these a lot different. We're going to make it something like that, and we're going to make it something like that, so I can more easily see it. There we go. That didn't work at all. Y'all excuse me. All right. Long up, bull ring engulfing. Okay. I changed the X's. I didn't change the triangles. Let me try that again. Dark green and purple. I should make it purple and gold because everything should be purple and gold. All right. Now, do we have any extra signals here? No, and that's okay. The whole point of this is to see, oh, there's one right there. So here again, you'd have been triggered. You probably would not have gotten all the way there before you got stopped out, which is okay. You're going to have stop outs. Here's one here. So price closed up outside of the Bollinger Band. You've been triggered right there, and you'd have had your entry right here, your exit right here. One of the basic logic ideas behind Frank Jr. is reversion to the mean. A reversion to the mean strategy is a natural part of a trend trading strategy. Because you think about it, every trend that happens isn't a straight line. It's always a squiggly line. So if that's your uptrend and you draw a straight line in between it, you're always going to go from the outside back to the middle. But Frank's not going to catch those. Frank's going to catch here going up or here going down. Frank Jr. is the one that's going to catch these reversions in the mean. It's going to be a smaller bite at the apple and fewer bites at the apple. But it's going to add a couple of points to your overall return just by virtue of catching a few extra things. Prime example right here. There are no Frank signals right here, but there is a Frank Jr. Let's go KIGN so we can find it. I know it gets a little complicated. So frankly, I turn off all of my lines. Let me do that so that nobody gets confused about what we are looking at. So I just look for signals. Here's one here, and you probably, depending on where it is, you probably would have gotten there before you got stopped out. No other signals on this. Here's one perfect one right here, right? So Frank didn't give you a signal here. Frank gave you signals all the way up. But this one, it's a classic reversion to the mean. So price pulled. And whenever you have a strategy, don't just blindly follow it. This is one of the things one of the hallmarks of our trading program is that understand the why of the strategy, understand it fully. Even if you're going to trade it with a trading algorithm, even if you're going to have a robot trade it for you, you need to trade it manually first so that you fully understand this thing. So the logic behind Frank Jr. is price has moved too far away and now it's pulling back. It's kind of a reversal strategy. I do not like reversal strategies. So basically, I don't call it a reversal strategy. I call it a reversion to the mean strategy, coming back to the middle. And I'm okay with that. I would much rather go short in an uptrend if I'm just coming back down to a middle line. It's not really shorting it. You're just saying, oh, price has stretched too far away from the middle and it's naturally going to snap back. And that's all you're after. You're trying to grab that snapback. So I don't know what I just deleted. So here we go. Here's your entry and here's your exit. That would have been a one-to-one trade. That's all you're after. Just a one-to-one simple bite at the apple. Let's move on. See if we can find any other ones here. All right, by the way, there's your Frank trade. You think, well, that one would have stopped out. Again, that one wouldn't have triggered. That's why I love this thing. It keeps you out of trades by virtue of the fact that if it doesn't go in the way you wanted it to go, you wouldn't have been in the trade in the first place. This one's a really big candle. Hey, one of the rules you could put in place, I love using ATR as a filter. You could put an ATR filter on your trades that says, I'm not taking a trade on any candle that is larger than today's ATR or whatever ATR. By the way, I'm on the 4-hour chart. Bless my heart, y'all. I was supposed to be on the daily chart. It does work best on the daily chart. You can trade it on any chart, to be honest. I don't know why I'm stuttering so much today. I'm probably trying to get too much in. Moving right along. Again, here's a massive candle. And what did price do? Price moved too far away and naturally snapped back. Now, it all happened in one day. For me, that's not a candle I can trade. It's just, if that was 2 candles, that would have been a perfect setup. But it wasn't. It was 1 candle. So lots of momentum. But that's a runaway train. Just don't get on board. Just say, oh, okay. Boy, that was fast. Glad I wasn't on that thing. Just looking for here's another one. Again, wouldn't have gotten triggered. You think, well, you're showing us a lot of trades here that wouldn't have gotten triggered. Well, again, this is a complementary system. This is not a main. Frank Jr. is not your main strategy. Frank Jr. is your complementary strategy. During a period of time when you had no other signals, you did have a Frank Jr. signal. Now, it's not one that would have triggered, but you still had that. And that's what you want. You want to build a foundational system. So, all right, it's up and running. It's doing well. It's making me 2, 3, 4% a month, whatever it is. I know. That's not enough. That's a whole other discussion. Oh, speaking of discussions, I need to remind bookkeeping here at the end, housekeeping here at the end about the book a call issue we've been having. It's been fixed. Have your main system and then say, okay, now that it's up and running, now that I'm trading it with discipline and consistency, what can I do to layer on top of it? I don't want to necessarily build a completely new system that is radically different from what I've got, but I want something that'll come alongside and help out. And that's what this does. It gives you a few more signals that have an extra layer of protection in them that says, hey, if we're wrong, chances are we're not going to be in the trade in the first place. That's why I love this thing. So that is Frank Jr., and I am running out of time. I mentioned earlier on that the book a call. All right, let me show you this. So with anybody who wants to have a one-on-one call with me for any reason, especially if you bought the book, there's a QR code. You get bumped to the front of the line. This book a call thing here, you fill this out, you get an email, and you can request a one-on-one call. Pick your time slot. Well, I had not filled out this week's time slot. So I had some people that said, hey, there are no time slots available. It's because I'm old. No comments from the producer on that one. It's because I'm old and I forgot. So if you want to book a call with me, you can go to the main page. You can go to book a call, and it will send you a link. And all of the time slots for this week are now available. So that was my fault. I forgot. Frank, the PDF form of Frank. Let me show you real quick what it looks like. This is it. And assuming it'll pull up, double click. There we go. It's over here. So this is the strategy. And anybody is happy to have this. It's giving away for free. It's all of the rules for how to get in, how to get out. You can watch Friday's video as a companion to this. I'm going to create a separate video just for this where I speak slowly and explain thoroughly. I'm not there yet, but it's everything that you need to trade Frank all in one handy dandy PDF. If you simply go to, where's the banner, Mr. Producer? We said we're going to put it up here. Here it is. All right, you just go here, godlytrading.com/pages/Frank, and you can fill out the form. It's not this form, it's a different form. It's this form right here. I'll show you 1 second. /Frank. You can fill that out, and I'll send you the email that's got the PDF in it, and with a link to Friday's video for now. And once I get the actual video recorded, it'll be a slightly less frenetic video. Oh, before we get out of here, I did need to show you update you on the trade that we've got going on right now. So I did find one particular chink in the armor for my trading algorithm. This is Forrest, trading on the 15-minute chart, trading gold, automated. Turns out that you actually have to have the program on in order for this to work. Somehow or another, I had rebooted my VPS and had not gone down here and turned on the platform. And when it's off, it doesn't take trades. Lo and behold. So I did miss out on a trade today because I didn't have this thing open. It would have, here was your last dot. It would have entered right here. Don't know if that would have been a stop out or not, but it certainly would have been a 3 or 5 to 1 trade there. It happens. The older you get, the more you should rely on a checklist. And then lastly, Bob, just for those of you who are following along with this strategy, we entered a brand new trade today. We're short the euro yen. Just entered that today. Updating you on euro pound. Boy, all the momentum has just died on this particular trade. I mean, you had this one big candle. You had a lot of nothing, one big candle, and now a lot of nothing. So this one's not going anywhere. But I don't have any signals to get out. My rules don't tell me to get out yet. I've only got a few meddle with your trade rules, and I'm very consistent with that. I do not meddle with my trade, and excepting like 2 or 3 cases. And then lastly, Aussie yen is going against me a little bit. We got into this one. When did we get into this one? Turn trade history on Friday. So that's not unusual. All right. There was one other thing. I'm trying to remember what it was. We were on, Forest. The long-term trades are just going sideways on them as well. We've got 7 minutes, and then I've got to get out of here or let all of you go. For those of you say, what about futures? What about stocks? Do these strategies work on anything other than Forex? Yes, they do. Watch list and turn Forex off and go to stocks. Let's take a look at Apple. Everybody loves Apple. There's your setup. It would have been triggered. You would have been, that would have been a successful trade on Frank Jr. See that? Short. Here's your entry. Here's your stop loss. Here's your 1-to-1. Well, what if I want more than 1-to-1? Okay, then get more than 1. Oh, that one would have been a stop loss. I thought that one would have carried the other way. Okay, so that one would have been a stop loss. All right, let's look at Amazon. Anything there? Nothing there. Take it back. There's one here on Amazon right here. Long. We entered here. There's your stop. And that one would have been at least a 1.5 to 1, but it certainly would have been a winning trade. So there's a Frank Jr. trade for you. Oil, and you can trade futures on oil. This candle I would have avoided. This candle I probably would have avoided just based on the size. This candle I probably would have, that channel would have been triggered. Just ever so slightly have been triggered, which is okay. And there's your stop, and there's your 1-to-1 right there. That would have been a win, right? Yeah. Okay, that would have been a win. So as you can see, works on stocks, works on commodities. What is the actual thing for the NQ? Somebody tell me the symbol for the NASDAQ or the S&P on futures. It's like ES something. I guess it's just the ES, isn't it? Let's look at the ES, S&P, E-mini S&P futures. Let's go to that and take a look. So that one's way too big to trade. Let's take a look. Let's just scan back. This is daily chart. Let's go down to the 12-hour chart and zoom to the end. No trades there. There's a bunch of them here on Frank himself. Nothing there on Frank Jr. Thank you, Mark. ES. Oh my goodness, what have I done? Anyway, here's one. Dude, there's your entry. There's your exit, and there is 1-to-1 right there. And yeah, that would have been a winning trade on that one. Down on the, what do y'all trade when you do trade this? You trade the 15-minute chart, don't you? I say you know who I'm talking about. Pierre, you know who I'm talking about. Does Frank work well on a shorter time frame for scalping? You said the S word, Mark. Scalping. Let's take a look at 15 minutes, which is as scalping as I typically get. I have no idea why the background's gone like it does. Hang on, I got Frank Jr. I got Frank on as well. Let's take a look. 15-minute chart. Here's a win for Frank, and you can tell just because it's more than 1-to-1. Short. Boop. There's your 1-to-1 trade win on Frank. Mark, what when you say scalping, what do you consider scalping? 5-minute chart, 1-minute chart, tick chart? If you're trading the tick chart out there, we're going to add you to the prayer list. Bless your heart. I had a fellow call me one time. Hey, look, here's a that one wouldn't have been triggered. But I say, here's a Frank Jr. that would have worked out. Let's go down to the. This is probably the only time you're ever going to see me go to the 1-minute chart. I'm going to go to the 1-minute chart just because. So ES 1-minute chart. Isaac, if you're here, I blame you. Here's a Frank trade. Boom. That would have been a win. That would have been probably. Let's measure that. Enter here. That's a 0.75. So we're looking at, that's a 2-to-1 trade, 3-to-1 trade on Frank. Here's another one. That one worked. This one would not have been triggered, so it would not have been lost. Usually 2 to 5 minute chart. Okay. I feel slightly better. I feel twice as much better getting off the 1-minute chart, going to the 2-minute chart. There's a Frank Jr. trade that would not have triggered. There's a Frank Jr. trade that would have triggered, and that one would have been a successful trade. This one would have been not have been triggered. Here's a Frank trade right here. On the 2-minute chart, this is from this morning at 9:32. Let's see what it looks like. We would have entered here. Our exit, our stop loss would have been there. And that would have been a 3.5-to-1 trade. Simple. And this is how you know you've got a nice, simple strategy. It's based on logic. The entire premise of Frank is just momentum. And it's translatable to other strategies. So have I shown the banner where you can download Frank? I think I have. If not, we'll do that as we leave here. Banner and show that. So if you want a PDF copy of Frank, go here. And I'll send you an email copy of that. Like I said, I'm going to record a better video for how to trade it. I don't know why it keeps disappearing. Show it again. Oh, there's a timer. Well, Mr. Producer can figure that out. Be happy to send you the PDF for this. And the indicators are, the indicator that you're seeing on my screen is one that I have built. And members of our community have access to this particular indicator. However, you can absolutely recreate it. It is just a whole moving average and an engulfing candle indicator. And there are others out there that are what's it called? Open source, that are free out here. Oh, thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. All right. It has been 30 minutes. Thank you guys for being here. I will see you tomorrow.